What's going on, everyone? In this video, we're going to be talking about how to properly insure your vacation rental. Welcome back, everyone. So this topic is rarely discussed in books or in courses for vacation rentals. The reason being is this area is constantly changing and companies are constantly coming and going in the vacation rental insurance space. When I first started in vacation rentals, there were only two companies that offered vacation rental insurance. The two companies were Proper Insurance and the other company was Slice. So why do you need vacation rental insurance? Can't you just use like a normal homeowner's policy? The simple answer is no. There are very specific rules and policies when it comes to insuring vacation rentals. What happened with the recent Airbnb surge was a lot of people started renting out their extra bedrooms or mother-in-law suites. What also happened was a lot of people who had long-term rentals that were in the vacation that decided to switch their long-term rentals into short-term rentals. Insurance has sort of become like overlooked because of how easy it is to list your property on places like Airbnb or VRBO. If I had to guess, I would say like 90% of hosts don't have their home properly insured. And I understand why. It's difficult to insure a vacation rental properly. There are many moving parts to vacation rentals, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, and the companies are constantly coming and going. And you also got to ask yourself, like, do you need a homeowner's policy? Do you need a landlord policy? Or do you need a commercial policy? You actually need all three to be properly insured. When you take payment for lodging under 30 days here in the States for a guest, that would fall under commercial insurance. Now, say you want to stay in one of your cabins or stay in your cabin or simply allow friends and family to stay in your cabin. Now, that falls under personal insurance. Now, say that you get a booking through Airbnb for over 30 days, which has happened to me before. That is now considered tenant occupied. And you are technically a landlord to those guests during their stay, if it's 30 days or over. Lastly, you'll have sometimes maybe a couple days, maybe a couple months where the property is not rented out at all. And that is considered unoccupied. Say a pipe bursts, like a water pipe, in one of your cabins and no one is there and no one has booked the cabin. Under a normal homeowner's policy or even a landlord policy, the insurance company would not cover you. So let me talk about the two companies I'm most familiar with. Before I start, I want to say that neither one of these companies has paid me to say anything about them. I was just sitting around today and I was like thinking about like how I struggled in the beginning with finding the right insurance company. So I figured I'd just make a video on the topic. So the first insurance company is Slice. I'm personally not a fan of Slice because they charge the host per guest. There are many reasons why I don't like this. The first is it's something that I can't predict when it comes to my expenses every month. Some months I'll have like 13 guests and other months I'll have like 3 guests if they've like all booked over a week. Slice would also charges you like $20 to $30 per guest, which is a lot. It's also a headache when it comes to like where you have to report your guests every month. You can sync with their calendar and their software, but it's simply a bill that's different every month, which I don't like. And they only insure the guest, not the entire home. That's like an extra charge. I also believe that they stopped writing vacation rental policies ever since COVID happened. Like if you go on their website right now, I don't think that, like last time I checked, there was like an error message when I went onto the vacation rental side. So the second company is Proper Insurance. This is the company I currently use. It's the proper way to insure your vacation rental. They're available in all 50 states. What I love about them is that they have staying power. They've been around the longest, and they're one of the few companies that stayed around during the COVID lockdown that happened. They cover the guest, the structure, the landlord, all at once. I happened to talk to other vacation rental insurance companies, or at least they say they were, and none of them could say that they'd insure for all three of those things that I just mentioned. So first, they cover the home from wind, fire, hail, broken pipes, and theft. They also don't have any limit when it comes to any damage your guest may do. Proper insurance covers the contents of the home as well, things like TVs, appliances, and furniture. My actual favorite thing about their insurance is they will cover lost income from the property that is caused by a guest. Say a guest put a huge hole in the wall and you decide to cancel your next guests until the hole is fixed. Proper will not only cover the hole, but they'll also reimburse you for the lost income for the guest that you canceled on, which is incredible. Even if your guest gets injured off property and they decide to go after you for some reason, proper insurance will cover you. So essentially, if they get injured, they're just like doing something in the city, like kayaking, hiking, blah, 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 proper will insure for that. Now, what are the downsides to using proper? I would say the number one thing, number one thing is it is a little bit more expensive than a normal policy. My normal homeowners policy was about $1,000. When I switched over to proper, it was about $1,400. But if anything would have happened to my guests or to the property with my old policy, the insurance company would not have covered it. So it's just worth the peace of mind. What's nice about the extra cost is if you have a mortgage on the property, then your payment simply goes up by a little bit. So for example, my insurance went up again by $400 a year. You take that $400, divide it by 12 months, 12 months out of the year, which gives me about $33 a month. And that's how much my overall payment, my overall payment went up per month. That's really not that bad for everything that you're getting with proper insurance. What really opened my eyes to vacation rental insurance was I had two incidents that happened in the first cabin that I built. One was a small incident, and the second one could have been a very major problem. The first one was a small branch had fallen on a guest car, and it did minor damage. I didn't mind paying the $200 to fix the guest's car for that. It was easier than going through a claims process. But I started to think about what if the entire tree fell on the guest's car? There is no way that my old insurance would have even covered that. The other incident could have turned out into more of a nightmare. And I've never really spoken about this before. There are two floors in the first cabin that we built, and I had a guest's child fall from the second floor to the first floor. Luckily, the child was fine and nothing came from it, but it definitely did terrify me. We went ahead and put up signs to help future parents with kids sort of navigate the cabin a little better. But it was just a freak accident that happened with the kid. But this happened before the tree incident. But it caused me to really aggressively look for proper vacation rental insurance after that happened. If something would have happened to that child and the parents would have sued me, I potentially could have lost that entire house from not being properly insured. So pay the little extra money and properly insure your vacation rental. I have nothing but good things to say about proper insurance so far. They have over 50,000 clients in the United States, and they have agents throughout the whole country. So lastly, I want to talk about asset protection on top of insurance. When I was getting my MBA with a concentration in real estate development, I fell in love with learning about real estate asset protection. I know that's a little weird, but we live in a very litigious society, and I figured if I'm going to be owning millions of dollars worth of real estate, I better understand how to protect that real estate. I took this even more seriously recently when I started to take on investor money. Because it's one thing losing my investment, I take it way more seriously when it's someone else's money that's on the line. So the first line of defense to protecting your cabin is the insurance that we just talked about. That's what we just discussed. The second part is asset protection, and asset protection being an LLC is holding title to your properties. For every parcel we have, we build 2 cabins on it, and an LLC holds 2 cabins at a time max. Before you transfer title to an LLC, make sure that your lender will allow you to do this. A lot of lenders won't if you've purchased your property with like a normal residential loan, like a second home loan. If that's the case, that's fine. Proper insurance should be enough. This is just for people who want the extra layer of protection. If for some reason your insurance company denies a claim, holding your property in an LLC will shield you from like a bank going after your personal assets. Again, I'm not giving any legal advice here. I just want to like put out that disclaimer. I'm just talking from experience here. If you want to talk to an attorney about this, I'll link a real estate LLC attorney that I use based out of Nevada. Her name is Lisa. She's absolutely phenomenal, and she handles all of my LLC stuff. And she gives some recommendations to him, like strategy and asset protection strategy. I'd recommend her over like a service like LegalZoom. So that's everything on insurance and asset protection. I hope this video has opened your eyes a little to the importance of using the right insurance. Like the old saying goes, you don't need it until you need it. I hope everyone's enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I hope everyone's staying safe out there, and I'll see everyone on next week's video.